So, yep, it happened. I literally just got a question the other day. And someone saying, have your dogs ever bit you? And I've been bit by dogs before, not my dogs. These puppies, to be clear, they're insecure, they lack confidence, they're unsure, and the confidence they have is in all the wrong areas. You see them climbing up a tree, jumping over the fence. That's a dog that's capable. It's like an athlete who can do but is afraid when the lights come on, so he never performs. I said it in the video, the other video. We missed a few steps. Jamarcus is behind the camera right now, and he could attest, and I probably will have him tell a little version of his stuff. But we were at one of the parks, Greenbelt Park, and I saw some behavior I didn't like. I said, we gotta move. We left. This is it. I don't like that. People message me and say, man, you look very stoic. I can tell you're not happy. I said, of course not. You do a lot of work. You spend years trying to start strong. And trust me, we're off to a strong start. And then something like this happens. But it's imperative that I teach you about what to look for, how to manage aggression in a dog, and the fact that some of these dogs are being bred for how it looks, but not how long it lasts. And at the end of the day, you have, if everything goes right, 10 plus years when you bring any living dog, animal, dog to be clear, a bully, into your life. And the first 1 to 2 years, if not the first 8 to 16 weeks, will make or break the dog. Just in my experience. So, Bam Bam. He did the most damage. And I beat, as I said before, I live on Instagram if you want to go see positions where I was sitting, what happened. And I'm going to reenact a few things today just so you can see firsthand what really took place and how we all, to a degree, have to be better. I'm going to wipe this off and come back, people. Stay tuned. So, back to the story. I'm sitting over there in the kitchen making some bacon, as you saw in the other video. And the house is overstimulating. Early on, you want to control a lot of the variables. So let me be very clear. If a child runs out, if the first time a kid's introduced to music and you have it at the highest level of hertz, aka it hurts, why would a kid ever want to hear music again? It's traumatizing. There's dogs and what we call the front of the house here that hoop, holler, bark, and it gets everybody excited. You can incite a riot. Matter of fact, yesterday when Tut, we was working the sand pit, Tut's the one who started barking and run up on a kid, and then these two fools followed. They're barking now. Incite a riot. Jamarcus recalled his mind keep running that way. And I'm realistically watching because I need to see what they're doing. Now, I don't believe, to be clear, they're going to bite the kid. They don't know that behavior. The woman picks up the kid, but the fact that they ran towards the kid to bark before they retreated or come back, that's the part that scares me. Because long term, in certain places and states, especially back even in Kansas City where I'm from, I was living on the Kansas side, and if your dog ever ran up on somebody and made it uncomfortable, basically you'd have to either muzzle the dog or they put it down. I mean, that's it, simply put. If the dog makes anybody feel afraid or frightened, they're going to take your dog and put it down. I could never run that risk, so I had to have my dogs under control, especially a solid recall, and even make sure they're properly socialized so they don't react to situations. So, Ego is the one who... What, dude? This is my favorite dog. Definitely one of the best. His mom's a super good dog. I would never worry about that with Ego because he was bred not to an insecure, from an insecurities. Baloo is bred, Baloo's an insecure, unconfident, scary dog. And just like a scary human, they're dangerous people. So, real quick, why I think they bit me. For one, they was afraid. I don't know of what. I'm sitting down on the chair lower than this, making bacon. I'm not even the person letting them out. They come around the corner, the whole house is, and they come around barking for no reason. Nothing's going on. I haven't even seen them. Cha-Cha, you go move. Cha-Cha, she comes around the corner, so I get up like, yo, what are you barking at? Because I don't like that either. I don't like a dog barking at nobody. Definitely don't need to be barking at me. So I go over, pick her up. She starts losing her crap. Boom, 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 boom. Couple nicks and knacks. And I said, hey, put her outside, deal with her. Bam Bam has already, he never came out. Once he started barking around the corner, he came back in here and stayed. I go to pick him up. And he starts losing his crap. I'm talking, he's in a state of psychosis almost. And I can't get my hands around him. One of the, Ego, come here. One of the things that I would do is if a dog is acting crazy, I'll grab them by their head like this. And basically, I can't use my thumb, but I grab them by their head if they was puppies and basically squeeze just a tad to calm them down. I couldn't get my hand because these jokers ain't got no necks. So every time you get close, you like this. They're like, they get me. And this thumb went into those back molars of Bam Bam's, so I could feel him biting on me, but in an adrenaline state of being, you don't feel anything until it's over. So then I grab him by his collar and take him out, put him outside, let him use the bathroom because we just let him use the bathroom. In the live, you'll see directly after the incident, I come in here, I tell people, they say, hey, how did you discipline him? Discipline what? I said, it's my fault. If you lose a game, it's your fault. You don't properly prepare the dog for the world, it's your fault. If you don't train up the child in the way that it should go, it's your fault. We missed a lot of steps. I said it in the video, another video. It's my fault. So I don't want them to be afraid of me, and I'm definitely not going to be afraid of them. But it's my fault. So they didn't do anything wrong. I don't know completely what's going on, but clearly they've got a lot of fear in them. And that fear is, in my experience, due to a lot of lack of socialization, lack of being stimulated properly over the course of time. When Ego was born, right when he hit 8 weeks or some change, I told, they were whelping a little Jamarcus. And I said, it's time for him to leave. Because I have a process that I go through, a strict process to properly prepare the dog. So everybody started barking here. Guess what? They'll start barking. Why Ego and Tron don't bark? I properly stimulated them and walked them through how the world sounds so they don't freak out. These dogs, I've not been to many places. I haven't hit the farmer's mart enough. I haven't went to Arbor Hill enough. They're walking up towards people and barking at them a little bit. For me, that's scary because they're so unsure. And an unsure, insecure, frightened individual is dangerous. Because now they're thinking about all the things you're going to do to them. And you're like, man, I ain't going to hurt you. They're like, I don't know that. So what do? They start causing harm. Start doing damage. I'm glad it was me, to be clear. I can deal with it. I can manage it. But to be clear, they never leave. They never leave. Normally, at some point, depending on how the dogs fare, I'll put them in a pet home or such and such. Because of this behavior, at 4 months old, they have to die with me. Whatever that looks like in the future, they'll always have a place at my particular house. I learned that from a guy named Ryan Banks. Shout out to him. He's a great breeder back in the day. And we'll talk more in another story. So in the next video, I'm going to reenact and show you what happened and what to do in situations and let you know, hey, it didn't work. The normal thing that I do, it didn't work. But it's just disappointing. It's not discouraging. I'll talk about things to look for. I'll show you a dog named Kane, tell you the story of Kane in another video. So stay tuned, take care of your dogs, people. Avoid fearful dogs at all costs. So this is what happened. I got Bam Bam comes out. I walk into the room, show him in front of the room. I walk in here, the garage door is open because he's supposed to go to the bathroom. He's hollering. He backs up. I go to pick him up. He bites me. I grab him. He then is on his back. Now normally, I'll grab a dog right here, but I couldn't get my hands here. Literally, couldn't get my hands because he's acting so crazy, and he gets me. But at the time, I mean, he's in a different state of mind. Literally in a different state of mind. So then finally, I reach around, grab him by his collar here, and I carry him outside. Because at that point, he's proven to be, he's nuts. So you have to put him outside, let him use the bathroom, and as you see, he's fine. Again, on the live, he's fine. When you're dealing with the dog who is that scared, I would tell you things that I could have done different. I could have sat down. I could have sat down, calmed the dogs down, allowed them to approach me, and pace myself a little bit better. I could have like, hey, what are you doing? And I was already seated out there when Cha-Cha lost her crap, to be clear. I'm sitting on a stool. So I'm not even like, and I never raise my voice. If you incite riot, okay, if I go higher, he gets more afraid. I never raise my voice because I know what happens next. I've been bit a few times, and I wasn't attempting to get in a fight with him for sure. But if he was acting that way, one of the things I would have done different, if because I was like, yo, I'm gonna pick my dog up, right? This dog, I'm about to get his full trout. I mean, he about to get, they eat like kings and queens. Everybody does. I would have sat down, calmed down, let him know that everything's okay. Let him come to me and pace myself. That behavior would still be disgusting, to be clear. I still would be perturbed. I still would be disappointed. I still would be discouraged with that type of behavior because they were in such a heightened state of and they were unruly. I mean, Cha-Cha, when I picked her up out there, she was squirting pee everywhere. Like, what are you afraid of? We're literally letting you, and of me of all people. Nobody even, unless I'm not in town, nobody else even feeds them. I put their bowls in there every day. Nobody's allowed to realistically touch them outside of when we go out and about. I take care of them to the fullest. And it could happen to any one of us. But when a dog is frightened, insecure, unsure, lacks stimulation, and so many other things, you go, we've got a problem on our hands. And I repeat, dang, Ego. That was Ego, y'all. That was Ego, y'all. He just got gas sitting up here like an old man. And I repeat, make sure your dog sees as much as possible. Let me be very clear in saying we've made a few errors here. We didn't get the dogs out enough. They're a little barky at people. I don't like that. They're a little jumpy. I don't like that. Ego, by the time he was 10 weeks old. You see that? That was Thursday. I'm already predicting bad things happening unless we fix this quick. Now the beauty about it is there's not 6 months. 6 months, guess what happens? Testosterone sets in. The dog becomes more sure. If you don't have it under control, going into that, you could potentially create more problems. So I have to double down, and do 10 times the work. And that means we all do. Tut's over here, he's a different case. I don't think he has violence in him. He'll protect himself, to be clear. But he's a very independent dog. To a degree. Dang, man. To a degree. Dang, my phone fell in there. To a degree, they are also very independent dogs as well. And that's not a good thing. I need them to independently be focused on me at all times. Just like these dogs are. When I tell them to drop it, you've seen the videos, drop it. They'll look and they'll drop it. I mean, I've got them. I spend so much time with all of them. For a lot of people, I say this. People disappointed, they were discouraged, but they're also inspired because they go, man, you're helping us out. I appreciate your candor. And candor just means truth. Showing you in real time the things that we're dealing with, the things that could go wrong, the things that are scary. I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you, as T.I. would say, that it's not scary, and I wasn't afraid of it. There's no fear in my heart, because I'd be honest, the other way, we just put them down, because I would never put a dog that I didn't think could be safe in other people's possession or my own in anybody's hands. You got to gotta put him down. And I'll tell you this is the truth. I come from an area where things aren't the best. And there was a young man back in the day. And I remember the first time my dad said something crazy to me. My dad, as I told you in other videos, did 7 years in a level 5 prison. And there was a young man on our block who would just terrorize people. Kick in your door. All kinds of stuff. Rob you, steal. And he said somebody needs to kill him. And I go, why would you say that? I'm a kid. About 12 years old, maybe 13. And he said he'll never do the world any good, Trev. He's going to cause harm. And if somebody doesn't kill him, he's going to end up killing somebody that doesn't deserve him. And nobody deserves to die. But in a best case scenario, he's a person that loses life trying to harm someone else versus him killing somebody because of who he is. I didn't get that then. As I've gotten more into the dog space, you read about the old fighting dogs, the culling of dogs, the putting them down, that if they ever showed human aggression, even when they were in the dog fighting ring, they would kill them right there. So that means the dog in some degree is a reflection of the lack, boy, they got some gas. The dog is some reflection of the lack of leadership, lack of ownership, lack of proper development. And some of these dogs have missed some of the steps. That's the truth. The lack of so many things and it being encouraged. I get the messages. Man, I want my dog to be a little bit more aggressive. Guys, I assure you, you don't want an aggressive dog. An aggressive dog, think the Hulk. When the Hulk turns green, evil things begin and he can't even control it. Until finally he controlled it. And then he's like, I don't even want to be that guy. Because it's too much. It's too much to manage that level of rage, fear, all that stuff. He needs to feel fear. Keep that in mind. Remember, he feels frightened or threatened. What does he do? He turns green. And that person, individual, thing comes out to protecting, which can destroy everything. Isn't that crazy? That's how you know fear ain't a good thing. Aggression is not a good thing. Your safety is everything. Now, I'll tell you in the future or in another video when we break down epigenetics, how and who I'm going to breed Bam Bam to and how to work through these type of traits early on and what dog he'll never go to so that I don't double up on crazy. Stay tuned. Take care of your dogs.